Filmento Tron Ares. I've been watching Filmento for quite a long time. He does some great stuff. I thought that maybe a 20-minute video would be too big of a reaction, but if I'm being completely honest with you, I've reacted to hour-long videos. So at this point, who cares, right? Let's do it.
The most sophisticated security program ever written.
I actually watched all the Tron movies except for this one, Tron Ares. So at this point, and I'm gonna be real with you, I'm a big fan. I liked all of them, including the remakes. They were great. I loved all of it. It was so cool.
I would like you to meet Ares.
Ares?
You did what? I had to. Please, please just hear me out, please.
I forgot what that scene was about. I think she disappeared a lot of the money, but I don't know how or why. Or like what happened.
In Tron Ares, Jared Leto... Uh-oh, here we go again. Jared Leto plays an evil tech company security program who wants to live in the real world but has one tiny problem. He can't survive beyond 29 minutes. And after having a change of heart, he joins forces with the leader of Kevin Flint's old tech company to find the permanence code which can make him real. And much like the character, the movie itself did not survive long past its birth. It flopped from its first weekend and ended up losing a fortune. Tough times at Disney once again. Which is sort of sad to hear, because in many
Oh, at this point, let's be honest, anything that Jared Leto morbs all over is just sort of doomed for this, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen.
ways, Tron Ares is the coolest movie of the year. It has the coolest music, the coolest color scheme, the coolest suits, the coolest vehicles, the coolest disintegrations, the coolest juxtaposition of contrasting elements. It is so damn cool that you can basically call it a $200 million music video for the new Nine Inch Nails album. And for that, I really enjoyed it.
Well said, it's a really good trailer for Nine Inch Nails. But hold on though. If they're doing this in the real world,
So damn cool that
does that mean just every vehicle is just stuck in traffic now, or how does that work?
you can basically call it a $200 million music video for the new Nine Inch Nails album. And for that, I really enjoyed it. But beyond that, as a narrative movie, Tron Ares failed badly. And there are some easy answers as to why. They cast a weird cult leader guy who a lot of people dislike and actively avoid. They hired a director who doesn't have what it takes to save big franchises. Plus, this franchise has never been a mainstream box office giant anyway.
Why the hell would you... Why would you freaking put that much money into it? Okay, I see that Tron Legacy made 400 400K, like that, 400 million. But I don't know. I just feel like if you make a movie for 170 and it doubles your money, like, wouldn't you be like, oh, okay, so logically, let's give them the same budget, or like maybe give them, like, at most give them like 50% more budget? You know, I don't know. It just feels like too much. Why does it say 182 220? Was it 220 or not? I'm gonna go with the 220.
But on the storytelling side, Tron Ares' failure can be explained with just one core word: artificial. Not artificial intelligence, just artificial. That's this movie's main flaw, that it feels fake, made up, not natural, like an artificially constructed product. The basis for the plot is not real and thus results in an unreal plot that you don't care about. The emotional and motivational elements that drive the story are not utilized enough to earn their existence, and thus you don't really invest in them. And the movie's entire point of existence is questionable at best.
How long do you think is it? So I'm still stuck on this. how long is it gonna take for them to like make? I'm looking at like damn, because if it's 220 million, bro, 141, like that didn't even make the budget of the second movie. Like what? Like you better hope that a lot of people rent it on Amazon, bro.
Drive the story are not utilized enough to earn their existence, and thus you don't really invest in them. And the movie's entire point of existence is questionable at best because it doesn't build on the franchise, but rather just leeches off its name. Isn't that right? CGI Jeff Bridges from 2010.
Yeah.
That is the failure of Tron Ares in a nutshell, artificiality. So let's transfer ourselves into this world to see how that happened. Despite all
Well, to be fair, right, I'm pretty sure it's all supposed to be artificial, so why can't the acting also be artificial?
its coolness, why does Tron Ares feel like an artificially made up movie with no real soul, and how not to be the same?
Teach me your ways, Filmento!
The first artificial
fake
problem
what? Is
here
fake what?
is that the basis for the plot is fake.
Fake seed equals fake tree. Wait, but if it's a fake seed, how the hell is it gonna grow?
Go back! I want to be
What you
Monkey!
Hello! Thank you so much for the follow! Eileen? Thank you so much for the follow, Eileen! Eileen plays. Oh, I'm stupid. That makes sense. You know what? I don't know why I don't know why I struggled with that. Welcome to the treehouse. We're all monos here.
The first artificial problem here is that the basis for the plot is fake and thus results in a plot that feels exactly that. Basically, the idea is that there are two rivaling companies looking to use Tron technology to bring digital assets permanently into real life, for their own reasons. The Dillinger company wants to create an army for profit, while
Wait,
the
but can't they already do that? I thought they already could do that.
company wants to create food and medicine for common good.
Or is it only real things can go in and come back out?
And the issue is that neither side is a genuine thing that really exists. Yeah, we hear opening exposition about getting supplies for the less fortunate and whatnot,
Feed the hungry, cure the sick, educate the world.
but that's not a real thing. Hunger
Wait, how the hell are you gonna cure the sick in a digital... Like, feed the hungry, yeah, you digitally make food, sure, but... How the hell are you gonna cure the sick?
and poverty and sickness do not exist here. There is not a single character in the movie who's currently hungry or poor or sick or in need of help. Yeah, we see Dillinger talking to whatever shady generals and investors about a manufactured army,
Ares is the ultimate soldier. It's full-scale war, 5 minutes notice.
but that's not a real thing. We have no idea who these people are or what they need an army for. There are no wars or rebellions or power struggle conflicts in the movie that would require a manufactured army.
Oh, I see what he's saying. So it's just like generic military guy wants to buy generic thing. It's kind of like in Jurassic Park, where there's like the guy who's like trying to create these like super weapon velociraptors, but it's like what do you need these freaking what do you need a super velociraptor for? Like, what's the point? Why?
Meaning that this whole basis for the plot about bringing digital assets into the real world is fake. And the argument you can make is that, well, it's fine because it's not the point anyway. The main point of the plot is about programs discovering humanity and purpose and rebelling against their creators. It's not really about investors or the poor, so why would those have to be real? Well, for the simple fact that if the basis for why the plot is born is not genuine, then neither can the result be. For example, imagine pirates but without Beckett and the East India Trading Company. Let's say they don't exist. Let's say there's just some mentions that maybe the King of England is somewhere and he wants Davy Jones's heart to fight piracy but isn't actually in the movie. Whatever. The main plot is about
I mean, to be fair, right, you wouldn't even have the scene where Jack Sparrow escapes from the king.
to fight against Davy Jones anyway, so it would still work the same, right?
Wrong!
it would not work the same, because the entire
Yeah,
foundation
what's the point? What, Barbosa wouldn't be involved either. Like, at all.
for the plot and its stakes and the reason we fight hinges on Beckett and the company existing. We cannot let the heart fall into the wrong hands because Beckett will use it to eradicate piracy and freedom. And we see it happen. We see Beckett commanding Jones to paint pirates everywhere into a corner. We see the world losing its wonder.
Still thinking of running, Jack?
Yup, they freaking took out the Kraken.
Think you can outrun the world?
The stakes are real, the world is real, the reason to fight is real, and therefore so too is the plot born from them. That
Reminds me of like Red Dead Redemption 2, where it's kind of like the world is moving forward and the cowboys are being left behind. Same thing, the pirates are being left behind by the East India Trading Company.
That's what Tron Ares is missing. The plot is built on a foundation that doesn't really exist. It's like a placeholder that the writers forgot to fill in, an excuse to get to the cool fighting stuff because whatever.
Catchphrase. Catchphrase?
Well, I don't think one up yet. Although catchphrase is a pretty cool catchphrase.
The point is that for a plot to feel genuine, the foundation below it must be genuine. You should have shown the poverty and sickness that we're trying to cure with this manufacturing technology. You should have built one investor into a real character and established a conflict that we can't let them get a manufactured army for. Because at the end of the day, your plot is either genuine or it isn't. It's a real thing that the
I genuinely feel like what they could have done here, just going based on what Filmento was even like discussing, it would have been really cool to see the companies have like data centers, data storages inside the Tron universe, inside the system. And then like have them like try to sell the armies so that they can destroy each other's databases, kind of like hacking each other, where it's kind of like a secret, not so secret, you know, illegal, you know, black market behind the scenes, the police doesn't need to know about it type of, you know, wars to try to take down your competition. And then meanwhile, in the real world, they're trying to basically, you know, play the same war effectively, but like while trying to stay out of the line of sight of the police.
The audience can really care about, or it's not. You cannot build anything tangible on an intangible foundation. If the plot seed that you plant is fake, so too will be the tree that grows from it.
Made up 2D elements. What you mean?
The second artificial problem here is that the main emotional and motivational elements that drive the movie are not given enough of a real form. At first glance, there is plenty of stuff in here that you should be able to invest in. The story is about an enemy program discovering humanity and breaking free of its programming. The emotional anchor is about a CEO finishing her dead sister's work as a way of coping with...
Wait, so Morbin time really got involved and made himself the hero? I mean, I assume because it says Flynn's. Is it not about Flynn and Flynn? And what was the name of that one chick? I freaking loved her, bro. She was gorgeous. Oh my goodness, bro. She had me all kinds of obsessed on that like bob haircut. She won me over, bro. It was over for me.
A loss. The villain side isn't straightforward, but involves a mother-son
wearing shoulderless sleeves
relationship, and the main objective is to find a permanence code to bring digital assets to life permanently.
Bro, actually, you know what? That chicken's Tron, another very strong female lead.
You can quickly see that all these central elements are like 2D projections with nothing tangible beyond the surface. With the permanence code, for example, it feels 100% bogus, a fully arbitrary answer to a fully arbitrary problem. The basic gist is that manufacturing digital assets comes with a time limit of 29 minutes, after which they evaporate.
Oh. I mean, I guess you could make that work. You could say that the cell structure is like too loose, and so eventually it'll like undo itself or fall apart. But this just looks like he shatters into a statue.
It's why Dillinger can't sell soldiers to the army and why ENVcom can't make food for the poor. Because they don't last. That is where permanence comes
So
in.
you could feed the homeless and yet let them still feel hungry.
Piece of code made by Flynn that allows digital assets
That's
to
evil.
live beyond those 29 minutes. And as you can already maybe tell, everything I just said is made up, with no grounded rules or logic. Why do digital assets survive only 29 minutes? Why wouldn't the army be happy to have recreatable super soldiers for 29 minutes at a time? And how much longer?
Yo, for real, like, they're acting like, it's like, alright, spawn in a tank. We got 30 minutes. Start wrecking house. Alright, cool. It's done. Spawn another couple of tanks. 20 minutes. Like, you could really just send out... Like, I've played video games where you have to keep spawning soldiers. If there's no limit to how many times you could spawn it, I'll just keep spawning them.
Where do the assets live?
You know what I mean? Like, send another soldier, 30 minutes, another soldier, 30 minutes, another soldier. Like, keep spamming it. Just keep spamming it, advancing forward.
Gaining permanence, forever or not forever, as is implied later.
Ought to be called the impermanence code.
I don't know. I barely even know how permanence comes to be or how it works. The hero goes to Flynn's old computer to do some typing, and now she apparently has the code.
That's how he hit it. It's 2 lines.
Frick! Huh? They really should have done something like, oh, if you, like... I feel like it would have been so easy to do, like, something like, oh, if you like add raw useless material, it can break it down to its most basic cells and then reconstruct it into something different. You know, I could even believe that, a little bit of suspension of disbelief, but this is like a little bit stupid.
Okay. What I'm getting at is that this whole thing feels made up. And although you can say that writing is always made up, it's not the same. There's a difference between...
Again, it's like the classic excuses people make, but it's like all of it's made up. It's all fake. The point is, your job as a freaking story writer. Oh, what the frick? Sorry. Why is this? Is this not charging? Hold on, Monos. Let me change the charger to a different one. I don't think my camera's charging for some reason. It's at it's at 11% right now. I'll make adjustments if maybe. It's okay, baby. Sorry, did I scare you? It's okay.
Building a realistic narrative and just inventing half-baked stuff as you go. For example, once Dillinger finds out that the hero might have found the permanence code, he uploads Ares into ENVcom's server to steal their files. And although it is a fictional written scene, it makes sense in and of itself.
Yeah, see, that's cool. Okay, so they do something like that. That's sick.
There's an understandable obstacle and a way to overcome it on screen that follows rationale. It plays with...
That's really all they had, was just like 5 people standing at the bottom of the stairs?
In realistic rules with grounded logic. It has enough of a form to stand on its own. It's a pretty great scene. But with the permanent stuff, it's as if the writers are inventing all the rules and logic out of thin air. Yeah, digital assets only last for 29 minutes for some reason, but there's this code that makes them last longer. Why? Well, because I made it up and that's it.
My source is that I made it the fudge up.
It's a made-up problem with a made-up solution.
Wait, are you serious? So no more 29 minutes?
And this lack of building grounded three-dimensionality is what affects all those central elements. They're too shallow to get invested in. Ares goes on a path of becoming a real person outside his programming, but what is it that starts him down the path? Well, he sees rain for the first time, and that somehow breaks his programming, I guess. The hero looks for the permanence
Nobody ever told him about water?
Code because it's a way for her to finish her dead sister's work, but how is the dead sister aspect resolved? It isn't. The hero finds the code right away, and then the dead sister is kind of forgotten about, except for a couple mentions later.
You completed her work as a way to stay connected to her. And now what?
The villain has a relationship with
Wow,
his
they
mom,
really just took away her whole purpose, huh?
but it's shallow
Why
at
would they
best,
call that out in the movie?
and we never properly dive into the emotions or power dynamics or
Oh,
unresolved
Succession is a pretty good show. I love that thing, bro. I was obsessed with it.
relationship issues that drive the dynamic. The movie just says they are big business mother and son, and it's tragic, and that's it. Not enough there to really get into. The point is that your elements will have three-dimensionality only when you create it. If the hero is motivated by her dead sister, then that motivation needs to be more present to the end and be given a real resolution. Like, maybe the hero is doing this to bring a version of her sister to life, or save her from a terminal illness because she can't move on from her. But then throughout the story, she learns to cope with the loss and eventually chooses to let her sister go, because by then she has learned that having one go at life is what makes life precious. Now, the element would have enough of a tangible form to latch onto, to care about.
I get that, yeah, it's like, cause at a certain point you start to wonder, like, why is she even getting involved with any of this stuff? You know, you completed your sister's work, most people would just freaking go home and sort of like, you know, be happy at that point.
But if you don't actually utilize your elements and instead just say they exist somewhere in the background, then no, nobody will care about a fake 2D background projection that you made up.
Sing softly.
Another artificial problem here is that the movie doesn't continue the franchise's main ideas to earn its existence, but just kind of uses the franchise for its name. Basically, a lot of the Tron things that this movie sells itself with
So
are
what you're saying is Jared Leto morbed all over it, understood?
not genuine. They exist, but only on the fringes. Yes, there are game companies and games like was always Tron's basis, but they're not relevant. We don't get into what kind of games this company makes aside from shortly referencing old ones, and it's a bit weird how we jump from a game conference scene to a scene about trying to figure out eternal life.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
The game stuff is there, but not really. Yes, there is a power struggle for the future of Encom like in Tron Legacy, but it's nothing like in Tron Legacy. What used to be a power
It would have been sick to maybe see a bunch of people, like maybe like the bike racing becomes like a competitive thing in the world. That would be sick.
struggle within the company over its direction has now turned into a race between two people in different companies. Dillinger used to be Cillian Murphy working for Encom.
The idea of sharing our software or giving it away for free disappeared with Kevin Flynn.
And now he's a CEO of another company that apparently has existed for generations.
That escalated quickly.
The company power struggle
How
is...
the hell do you do that? That's a freaking... That's not a lateral movement, bro. What?
there, but not in a way that would further develop what it used to be. It's not really about Encom anymore. Encom as a company and business is no longer relevant. Yes, the heroes from Tron Legacy do exist in this world, but they may as well not. They're not present at all, and their presence is not felt at all, and we only know about them because of a couple quick mentions.
After Sam Flynn resigns for personal reasons.
What do you mean?
Is that it?
I think so.
They exist, but not really. There's more examples to say, but what I'm getting at is that this movie does not push
wait, so what the freak? So do you just ignore him?
earlier ideas further, but just kind of includes them while doing something else. Look at Flynn's scene, for example. Yes, we go to the old Tron version and Flynn is there and it's all very radical, but nothing more. It's a certified cameo where we see old stuff and hear the old hero say things as he hands out the MacGuffin. It doesn't even connect to what happened in Legacy. The past is barely mentioned, and the scene mostly consists of Flynn gushing over Ares.
Fascinating. Very good. Classic. Humor, man. Very good, man. Love that! You keep surprising me! I exist.
And so it really is, again, it really feels like he's just... It really feels like he's just Morbin all over this thing, right? Just freaking making himself to be like the freaking... The superstar, greatest freaking guy in the show
In this
type deal.
moment, because you do.
As a whole, even if Tron Legacy didn't exist, nothing significant about Tron Ares would change. And why is that a problem? Well, it comes down to the question of rebooting versus soft booting. When you reboot a franchise, you go in to rebuild it from ground level. And since the filmmakers here didn't want to do that, they chose to soft boot instead, which means building on top of the past. But the thing is, when you build on previous movies, you actually have to build on what the previous movies did, continue that work. As much as the new Jurassic movies have their problems, Jurassic World did do a fair enough job carrying the torch further and found success. And Tron Ares fails to do that. It just kind of features prior work on the outskirts to leech off of it. It pretends to be something it's not to try to...
I hate that they do that. They really put the Flynn logo damn near everywhere in the movie. And it's like, all you're doing is reminding the audience that you didn't freaking bring Flynn back.
cash in on the franchise name. And look, some things are beyond control. You're not gonna get Cillian Murphy or Olivia Wilde to come back. Understandable. But goddamn, at least continue the main ideas. For example, a big thematic part of Legacy was the idea of moving on. The hero couldn't get over his dad disappearing and was stuck in life, still hoping to find him one day. And that's something this movie could have taken further. Instead of a simple cameo, Flynn's scene could have been a next step in that. You know, once Ares gets the MacGuffin and is about to leave Flynn, he would realize that, wait a minute, if I leave, you will cease to exist since this copy is all that's left of you after what happened in Legacy. And to that, Flynn could verbalize the ultimate lesson that Legacy was building up to. Hey man, the key to life isn't to worry about it ending, it's to live it. And I already lived mine. Tell my son I said hi. Just an example, but it would work.
Oh, Filmento! They should have freaking given this fool a freaking job in the writing room.
As a retrospective conclusion to what Legacy was going for but couldn't do in the same retrospective way because it ended more in beautiful tragedy. And then you can actually play the lyrics written for the scene, since apparently Nine Inch Nails understands the theme better than the filmmakers.
Damn. You know what? Yeah, maybe that would have been a freaking better a better way to go about it. True though.
The point is that there's a right and wrong way to boot softly. Either you continue the work of the past to new levels to earn your existence, or you just use the past without even justifying your existence. And if you choose the latter, no amount of visual or musical coolness can hide the truth about your movie. That it was made not because it needed to, but just for the sake of making it, because why not? All that being said though, tell him, human Jeff Bridges from 2025.
9 Inch Nails, man.
I mean, to be fair, that could get you a long way,
There's one last thing before
right?
Christmas break. Let me ask you this. Do you sit down a lot? Are you seated when working or gaming or studying? Do you do it so much that at times it gets uncomfortable? Well, that's a sign you're a real human, and
Yeah, but my booty cheeks hurt when I sit for too long. What are you gonna do about that?
I feel the same way. Each day I do hours and hours of editing and writing and even some gaming, and often I sit down for that.
Yeah, your
Please
booty
no
cheeks hurt
more,
too?
begged Filmento's back.
Yeah!
But not to
Anarchy!
worry, for I have the permanent solution. Today's sponsor, FlexiSpot. FlexiSpot knows that people are individuals of all shapes and sizes, so they made their chairs not only ergonomic, but also highly customizable. You can tilt the 3D headrest, you can lift and lower the backrest, you can modify the lumbar support, you can change the seat depth, you can adjust the armrests, footrest, everything.
Okay, the armrest one's actually genuinely good.
Doesn't matter if you want to sit legs crossed like a monk or lie back like your favorite YouTuber, you can. And with the soft
lumbar
breathable
support
seat, you're gonna be
adjustment,
comfortable
the
way
head
beyond
adjustment, and the
29
freaking arms
minutes.
adjustment.
Right
It's
now,
freaking sick as
FlexiSpot is
all
running a
hell.
big end of the year deal, so check out their site to find the right model for you. You get a $50 holiday discount by using code C750 at the link below, with a 10-year warranty and a 30-day free return policy.
They all look
Very
nice.
nice, and see you guys next year.
What a freaking phenomenal video by Filmento. Please go and drop him a like, go drop him a sub. Well earned, my dude. He actually had some phenomenal ideas for alternatives, actually. Really, really cool. And yeah, I don't know, bro. Morbin, it's Morbin time. You already know what I'm about to say. Freaking, Jared Leto kind of has a history for this stuff. Oh, I never freaking put myself back at from the last video. I never put myself back over here. But, like, it feels like everything Jared Leto touches ends up becoming basically the same movie. Where it's just Jared Leto being Jared Leto while everyone tells Jared Leto how cool Jared Leto is. You know what I mean? That's basically what the vampire movie felt like, and that's basically what this movie feels like. I'll probably watch it whenever it comes out for free on some kind of streaming service, but until then, meh. 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 Absolutely phenomenal video, though. By Filmento. Please go drop him a like, go drop him a sub. I'm gonna drop the link on Discord, and if you're watching the VOD, as always, links will be in the description below. Please be sure to go drop a comment so the algorithm knows that you like his stuff. Ayoo, Monodachis! Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also find links to the videos that we reacted to today down in the description below, along with my Oshi marks. I'll see you in the next video, Monos. Goodbye, and thank you so much for swinging by. Salut!